David. I'm very happy that Bishop mentioned 15 years ago. For me, 15 years ago, for myself and my peers, our parents encouraged us to be lawyers and doctors and not necessarily entrepreneurs. The term entrepreneurs, very new for Guyana, I feel personally, and I feel it's being thrown around a lot, and we aren't properly addressing the true things about entrepreneurship. We always paint it, or it's being painted with a hue of glamour, and it's quite the opposite. Entrepreneurship takes a lot of sacrifice. It requires you to give up on a number of things. Dr. Mohammed asked me to speak on being a young entrepreneur. So I think I wanted to speak about some of the challenges of being a young entrepreneur. Both in Guyana and overseas, I'm a migrant. My first entrepreneurship venture was, how old was I? I think I was like 19 or 20, my mother was there. And I wanted to put together the biggest, baddest fashion show New York has ever seen. Michelle Cole flew in for the fashion show. She brought tons of clothes. We had designers from Jamaica, designers from the USA. It was amazing. It was an amazing show, but it was a horrible business venture. It flopped terribly business-wise. It made no money. In fact, I ended up having to pay the club $5,000 that I didn't have. But it was paid, and I had to repay the $5,000. So being an entrepreneur is definitely not easy. I think my problem with that was that I focused on the money. And this is why I like this topic, money matters. However, don't focus on it. We as young entrepreneurs, the young entrepreneurs in the room, I know quite a few of you are here, we as young entrepreneurs, we need to focus on gaining experience, becoming more knowledgeable in the field that we are making our business, and working hard to perfect the service that we provide, or to perfect the way that we do our business, so that the money will follow us. The money comes automatically once you're able to produce good quality services and you give good quality products. There is, according to Bloomberg, 8 out of 10 entrepreneurship ventures fail in the first 18 months. And as daunting as this may seem, it's actually very encouraging. I see failure as a gym routine. You fail, you get back up, you try again, you become stronger, you become smarter, you become more knowledgeable. Us young entrepreneurs, we have this tendency to be very bold, and we have an aversion to caution, which isn't necessarily a good thing sometimes. But it will get us into trouble, but it's that risk-taking mentality that separates us from everyone else. And I don't think an entrepreneur is better than anyone. I don't think an intellectual is better than anyone. We all operate in a space where we survive together. And with no entrepreneurs, there will be no innovation. And it's very funny that before being an entrepreneur was cool, some of the people that we all look up to were entrepreneurs. We just never coined that. Steve Jobs. We all used, before Mac came into play, we all used Microsoft computers. He was the founder of Microsoft was an entrepreneur. We have newer entrepreneurs like the founder of Tesla, Elon Musk. He's one of the entrepreneurs I admire. Bishop is one of the entrepreneurs I admire on the local scene. For the older people that us young entrepreneurs look up to, I think what we require from you is a lot of encouragement, patience, and what is that, a lot of that? A lot of encouragement and patience, because we need your guidance. Even if you're not entrepreneurs, you still bring a wealth of experience from your time here. And we need your guidance and we need your encouragement, because being an entrepreneur takes a huge toll on you physically and mentally. And I don't think we pay much attention to the mental health aspect of being an entrepreneur. We see someone that works hard, we see their business come out successful, and we never ask them, did you get a good night's rest? What toll is this taking on you mentally? And it takes a huge mental toll. I know I started my latest company, Medical Diagnostic Supplies, I started last year in February. And the first few months, it was a new territory because my main supplies were from China. So I was up during the day talking to the hospitals in Guyana, and then I was up all night talking to suppliers in China, trying to figure out how we can make this thing work. And it worked out. They actually flew to Guyana a few months ago to meet with me, and so the hard work is paying off now. Everything works more in sync, so there's not much of a toll on myself, mentally or physically. So I think we all need to encourage young entrepreneurs to continue working hard. I'm very happy that University of Guyana now has a School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. It tells you the direction that Guyana is going in, and because everything starts at the university level. The university is a reflection of a larger society, so it's very good that we have the School of Entrepreneurship and Business Innovation. And I wish the school came into play before I started this journey in international relations that I love anyway. Difficulties in Guyana that we definitely need to work on are the excess of red tape, the excess of red tape for us young entrepreneurs. It took me 3 weeks to register the company, and this is before I incorporated it. This is when it was just a traded entity. It took 3 weeks. In New York, it took me 1 week to incorporate a company, and I did the entire process online. So there was no walking in the hot sun, waiting in the line, being greeted by a rude public servant. So we have a long ways to go. I think a think tank with young entrepreneurs would be valuable, where they can put forward all the difficulties that were met, and then from that information, it can be disseminated to the different agencies that we would encounter, and so that they can make their necessary changes to make the process a bit easier. Because if we're going to encourage young people to take up entrepreneurship, then we need to make it an inviting experience, and not one where it takes I was going to say something that I shouldn't say, but it takes scruples of steel to pursue. Sorry, I lost track of these notes. So, as young entrepreneurs, focus on knowledge, focus on time, and focus on your health. Bishop spoke about raising capital. Raising capital in Guyana is kind of tricky. The banks aren't necessarily your best friends sometimes with their interest rates, but there are ways that you can raise capital. You can do crowdfunding. You can get your peers to invest in your company, and you can start small. You can go to your parents, small business bureau, explore all avenues available, and go out there and get your business started. Thank you.